Likes to cut it close. And it's regarded as a bait fish to many.
The line out.
136 nautical miles, but look at the distance through the water, 168. That's how much current we fought.
We're just having a breather, figure out what we're gonna do.
Last episode we were waiting out an east coast low in the beautiful Hawkesbury River. Now with a gentle westerly forecast, we made our move with the end goal of getting to Queensland. We had a 370 nautical mile uphill battle against the notorious East Australian current.
I leave Jessie on watch for not even an hour. She likes to cut it close. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had a bit of drift on the boat. I didn't realise until we got a lot closer.
Oh, Costanza.
Can't stand ya. As long as that anchor doesn't.
Jessie asked me, oh, how far can we pass these ships? And I said, oh, I wouldn't cut it any closer than half a mile even then. And she's like, oh, we're a bit closer than that. I'll stick my head out. Very good.
Oh, this is champagne sailing.
Look at him waving, Jess. Well, interesting little fact, we're on our way from Pittwater to Newcastle and we're just dodging 1,000 container ships, and I just run into our old friend, went past it, Corona Joyful. So, when I first started commercial diving, in the early days, 15 years ago, can you believe it, I had to come out here offshore while the ship was anchored and take a few paint samples. They just tried a new anti-fouling paint from International, and yeah, it was a really cool job. It was a really cool job, and I got to yeah, dive around this massive prop in crystal clear water, and there's all these like there's heaps of
talking, if you just one time.
Yeah, so it was a really cool job, and there was heaps of bait fish down underneath the ship, and they kept running down from me and then getting chased up by, must have been a marlin or something. They were coming up all beaten up. But anyway, I'll put a few pictures up now of that awesome job. It's just funny, 15 years later to be cruising past it. So this is what we were worried about, sailing at night during these passages. You don't see many, but we only need one. Look at the size of that. Oh, what is it? Go closer. But yeah, you just don't want to hit that, whatever it is, big raft. Far out, you're in 107 meters of water, you think there'd be dollies on it. G'day guys, so we've pulled into Port Stephens here, beautiful spot. We were going to keep going, but the forecast wasn't very good, and it turned out being good, so we should have been out there. But
frustrating.
It's been nice to stop in and visit friends, fill up the water. It's super handy. We're just outside Nelson Bay here. They've got a nice public dock, free for monos actually. 4 monos can fit there. But we've also managed to coincide our entry with Port Stephens Sail Week. So there's like hundreds of racing boats all around, so it's kind of cool to see. We had a bit of an interesting mac tuna catch on the way in. I was about to have a shower on the back deck, and it was really hot, and I literally sat down there with the soap ready to go, and we've been trawling the rod for like 11 hours, and we literally caught a mac tuna as I got naked. So to find the fish. Anyway, we'll just roll the footage.
Well, Michael just stripped off to
Patron only video here, coming to you live.
have a shower on the back step, and as soon as he was about to walk down, this reel just screamed off.
I literally just got naked.
I'll take a mac tuna, I'll take anything. It's dying.
Yeah, crab bait.
Yeah.
Oh. That's huge.
That is gigantic. That is a huge mac tuna. Oh wow. It's really more like that.
Piss off. Ridiculous. So I'm glad I'm having a shower.
Ridiculous?
But we've caught this before, and it's regarded as a bait fish to many, but we think it's amazing. We made ceviche with it the other day, and it was absolutely top notch. And this is the brine.
I wouldn't say it was top notch, but it was
amazing.
definitely yum.
Nothing wrong with it. It was so good.
You try to feed me sashimi, and that was
sashimi's different. Sashimi was
not
a little
recommended.
bit. No,
I didn't like it.
It's a strong taste for sashimi. So I'm just going to bung this in there and then pull it out when the thickest bit's 55 degrees centigrade internal temp.
We've cooked this before, haven't we?
We have. So that's in there. I think I had the heat on real low last time. This time I'm just going to make sure it's smoking and then keep an eye on it.
So the tide swung around since we filmed the last scene. What's going on?
So how long ago was that, you reckon?
Oh, an hour? You've been at this for ages.
A bit more than an hour, I reckon.
Sailboats are still over there for those that think we faked something. The race is slowly winding down. Stragglers are coming through.
So I smoked the fish till the thickest part got to about 55 degrees centigrade, and I must say, looks pretty good.
Alright, show us these Duvalacs and link them below.
These, I wouldn't really recommend these ones. So I'm not going to link anything below. Ideally you get the wireless ones with no wires and they just Bluetooth straight to your phone. That's what I want.
Look at the state of this barbecue. Where's the piece? Look at that. That is the bottom of our barbecue. What is it being held by,
Held
Michael?
together by honey and marinade. Nothing wrong with that. It's like a coal barbecue now. Oh, look how it flakes off.
That's weird.
That's so good. Perfect sweetness.
Same brine as last time?
Yeah. Look at that. You gonna put that in a pasta tonight? Here.
That's the way to do it.
Verdict?
Yum.
Good?
It is sweet.
Beautiful, eh? It's not fishy at all.
It reminds me of Christmas, sort of like ham almost, because it's real meaty. I guess it's got that high blood content.
I don't know.
I did not like it raw, but that
The ceviche
it's sort of like
was good.
ham almost, isn't it? Yeah, ceviche was good, but the sashimi was not nice. It was literally, it was like licking a wound or something. That is delicious. I'm gonna get some more. It's weird. It's so dark. It's very meaty.
I find the bloody fish, they smoke way better than the other fish.
We've smoked some of the best fish, like dogtooth tuna, which in my opinion is one of the best eating fish in the ocean for pretty much everything except smoking. It's horrible.
It's not horrible.
It wasn't horrible, but we smoked sailfish. It was one of the best things we've ever eaten, and it was definitely the best smoked fish we've ever had.
It's the bloodier stuff seems to smoke better.
I never smoked yellowfin, but I'd imagine that would probably be pretty good.
Oh,
That is good.
very good.
It's not going to last very long. We were like, we'll make extra and freeze it, but I can't see that lasting more than
You
a
just
couple
break
of
those
days.
chunks into some pasta. Have some with some crackers and cheese.
It's a really nice thing to
Charcuterie.
have on a charcuterie board, where you have,
Charcuterie board.
you know, a bit of cheese, bit of apple. It's nice. Very good.
After a few days in Port Stephens, we jumped at what looked like a decent weather window to start heading north again. We would have loved to have spent some time in the bay diving and exploring, but after all the rain, the water was absolutely filthy. With a big swell still running from the last blow, we weren't too unhappy about motoring. A few hours after departing, we received an updated weather forecast, and we were going to be in for a bit of a rough night, so we kicked back and enjoyed the calm weather while we could. Tonight wasn't going to be very enjoyable, especially as we were due to round one of the hardest parts of the coast, Hat Head, where the current comes right in against the coastline and runs at about 3 to 5 knots.
Look how dirty the water is, you can hardly see them.
New South Wales is a seriously underrated bit of coastline when heading north. The nasty weather paired with bar crossings at nearly every river mouth really put you on a time schedule. We were going to do our best to avoid crossing any bars, so we were aiming for major ports with deep shipping channels.
We're just passing Fish Rock, Old Faithful, and Michael's on. We've just got a squall coming through too. Great timing. I'll be inside. Just
Okay, just tuna.
one gap.
There we go. Oh, what is it?
What is it? Huh? Dolly. Oh. Another fatty. Jeez, they're huge.
Solid fish, aren't they?
You would think with the amount and lack of spearfishing the last 3 months, there'd be a decent fish in the ocean to catch.
Just as we ran out of smoking fish to smoke, we caught more.
Well, we always say the New South Wales coastline is underrated.
We sure can pick the passages, I reckon. Every time. Look at that. We did 27.5 hours. It's our longest passage. 136 nautical miles, but look at the distance through the water, 168. That's how much current we fought. The
so
treadmill.
an extra 32 miles.
Yeah.
That's why we were getting hardly anything out of a tank.
Yeah, we were doing like 3 knots.
treadmill.
But we were doing like 10 knots boat speed.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
East Australian
We had
current.
almost 4 knots of current on the nose.
Crazy. Anyway, we've pulled up at Southwest Rocks. Not the greatest anchorage. It's
Pretty good to me.
got a huge,
Pretty bloody
it's got
good to
this
me.
huge swell rolling through. It's super calm, like you don't notice it, but when you look out, you're like, oh, there's a massive wave there, but they just sort of pass by under the boat. Don't know how long we're going to stay here. We're just having a breather, you know, have a shower, have something to eat, maybe have a nap, and then figure out what we're going to do from here. The weather changed a bit, so not too keen on going all the way through to Queensland in 30 knots, so we're just going to have to figure out what our next step is. We're going to get stuck at Southwest Rocks again for 6 weeks, mate.
Yeah, on the outside maybe.
So Coffs is about 6 hours up the road. So that's the next stop. I think we're going to go there, get more fuel, because we won't have enough fuel to get to Queensland, will we?
Maybe. If we sail.
If we sail, yeah. We like to carry enough. We'd like to carry enough fuel for the entire passage in case something happens. So yeah, I think we've well and truly bitten into the provisions of fuel, which sucks because it's about $2.20 a litre at the moment. So I've had a nice little nap to catch up on our passage sleep, and Michael's decided what better way to recover than cook some mac tuna.
So
You're an enigma, Michael.
I didn't even want to go fishing, but I thought maybe we could snag a wahoo on the way in. But we caught little skipjack and the mac tuna. But last time we smoked the mac tuna up, the naked mac tuna, someone messaged me, a friend of mine on Instagram, said, oh, you should try boiling that up and you can make like a really nice like tin tuna, like the best tin tuna you'd ever have. So basically said just chuck it all in, skin, get rid of the guts, bones and all, boil it for about half an hour, take it out, and then you basically just got really nice tin tuna. And then if you wanted, you could jar that and do that. You can make like, yeah, anyway. So I've put a litre of water in here, and you want it like seawater consistency. So I looked up seawater consistency, it's about 3.5%.
Why? What's wrong with the seawater just there?
Oh, It's more fresh than sea, I think, at the moment with all the floods.
Yeah.
So I've just put a litre of water, 1.5 tablespoons of salt, an onion, white onion, quartered, some bay leaves, half tablespoon of peppercorns, a bit of carrot, a bit of celery, and a tablespoon of kombu seasoning, because that seems to always go well.
That's how bloody it is. Crazy, eh?
But that's, yeah, that is the amazing smoked fish we made, was that stuff. So I'm going to try.
You sound drunk.
Yeah, I'm so tired. Didn't sleep very well. Look at that though.
Didn't sleep at all.
And I'm just going to put it in here. And basically just said boil it up for half an hour. Pull it all, drain it, pull all the bits you don't want out. And then you've got, yeah,
bones.
skin, bones and bloodline. And we'll see how it goes. Good way to process it. And you can jar that after, but we don't have the jars or anything to boil the jars in. So we'll just have to freeze what we don't eat. We'll give some away. Anyway, this is highly experimental for me.
And we've just had another monohull actually drop anchor near us. Always a bit surprising to see in these anchorages because they can be quite uncomfortable with the roll in here. It is a really big period swell though, so you hardly even notice it. It must be like 2 meters of swell, but you just, yeah, it's like it's the gentle rocking feeling that everyone expects on a boat, but you rarely get. Anyway, we'll report back shortly.
It's going to be...
We're desperate times.
It's going to be... What else? I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm delirious. I'm so tired. Did not sleep very well, but it's going to be
Can't resist a fish.
It's going to be a bait for...
Cobia?
Cobia, hopefully.
So, we've probably mentioned there's been a few floods around here, and the water has just been filthy the whole way up the coastline. So just, I think every diver in New South Wales in the last 2-3 months, they've all taken up new hobbies like land hunting, baking bread, cooking, just anything to keep them busy because no one can dive. The water's filthy, so, and a lot of line fishing. But yeah, even the fishing hasn't been great either. So it's just been raining and windy non-stop. So this is what it's come to, eating all the bait fish. So it's actually not bad. I've quite enjoyed the challenge of being resourceful. Smells really nice.
Smells amazing. It looks...
Oh, look at all the fat coming out of it.
That's all the bones, yeah. So if you put the bones and skin and stuff in, apparently it's really... That
like,
looks good. Smells great. It looks a bit funky, but I'm sure it tastes good. Well,
nice fish stock for a faux soup or something.
Says he puts it in salads and tuna cheese melts and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be yum. Even just
in a dip.
you could use that for a dip for sure. That's nice. That's definitely. It's the only thing is it's dry, so I don't know.
Yeah,
if
maybe just boil it
it's
for
a
less.
bit too more like a poached thing, not a rapid boiled. That's yum. I would eat that 100% any day of the week.
Yeah, look here. Try some of the belly there. Look at that.
Oh wow.
That looks juicy. Heaps wetter. Yeah,
Moist.
it's good. Yeah.
Yum. That's delicious.
Pretty easy too.
Oh, so easy. I mean, what's easier than just literally cut a bit off the carrot, a bit of celery, black pepper, bay leaves, and a little bit of kombu. That is bloody awesome.
With the fish prep's easy. It's just chunk it up and throw it in.
Yeah.
Yum. Well, thanks, Slippery Gypsy. It's going in the book.
After spending a night at Trial Bay, we decided to head off to Coffs Harbour as we needed to get fuel for our next leg up the coast. The problem with Coffs Harbour is that it's not much of a harbour, unless you're in the marina of course. The huge swell rolls straight into the anchorage, making it very uncomfortable when there's any east swell.
Some overheating issues with our engines, that?
I did. Thank you so much for that. That's great. It'll be a long night. Thank you. Cheers.
How lovely.
Oh, that was... We just got them. So our friends on Giselle, they've been coming up for the same day we left, but they've been having engine issues. They messaged us today at about 11 saying they had engine issues and they were going to come up here. They wanted to know what the story was, and then we didn't hear off them all afternoon, and it's just gone dark. It's like
No, we heard them try to contact
Yeah, we heard
Coffs
Coffs Harbour trying to contact them before, and they weren't getting anything. So we just thought, oh, they've spoken to Trial Bay, and then I know Trial Bay shuts at 6, so I thought I'm just going to ring Trial Bay and make sure that they checked in with them. And then they were like, no, nothing was heard from them at 4 o'clock. I was like, oh, cool, that's great. So anyway, he actually put a call out on like 3 channels and finally got hold of them on 80, which is the repeater channel for anyone that is not being heard. So I think they were talking back, but no one could hear them. You could hear the radio click, 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 and then that was it. And then, yeah, he went to 80, and when they responded, you could hear them crystal clear. So it's pretty amazing that only that one channel is the repeater. But yeah, they're doing good. They're having engine issues. It's overheating, so they're doing 3 knots against the current.
What we were doing too with working engines.
With working engines. So yeah, I'm glad we checked, because I was getting pretty worried about them. So all good.
Anyway, see you guys when
Thank
you get
you,
here.
VMR, for checking in on them
thanks
for
to the
us.
guys at VMR that make our lives a lot less stressful.
Now we only have to worry about our boat on the pier that's 50 metres away.
47.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, good night. This is Coffs Harbour, guys. It is not meant to be a bar crossing, but there is certainly big waves. Yeah, not like your traditional bar would though.
No, well, it's deep. It gets to about 6 or 7 metres.
Hey, get out of here. How's the engine? Not too hot?
Hot. Well, we don't have any load. We're just sitting on 1,000 revs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Last time it was
Yeah.
We're getting 30, 40 knot gusts.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
So crazy.
And then this huge 3 knot current heading north.
With our friends safely in port, we could relax a little, and after a few nights rolling around the harbour, we finally bit the bullet and went into the marina. With plenty of fuel on board and fully recharged batteries, literally and figuratively, we were ready to hit the seas and smash out our last leg from Coffs to the Gold Coast. Dry mouth. Nothing breaking, but definitely a bit of that swell still hanging around. We had 5 metres yesterday. It dropped down last night to like 2 average, so much better than it has been, which is why we've been hiding out at Coffs Harbour. However, this is the last chance we'll get to get out of here, so we're off. Seas have calmed down, and there's no wind by the looks of it, so yeah. Could be a very boring old day. I am sort of looking forward to that though. But the clouds around me are telling me otherwise. It's squally looking. The morning clouds eventually burn off and we had the most glorious 24 hours of sailing. We had a steady 15 to 18 knots the entire passage to the seaway. We were overwhelmed with happiness as we watched the sun rise and light up all the buildings on the Gold Coast. After a rough 12 months in Sydney, it felt surreal to be back doing what we love and crossing state borders again with ease.
Oh, so good. Such a good feeling crossing that border and pulling into the Goldie again. Never thought I'd stay the day. I'm happy to be in Bums Bay again.
I know, right?
Actually a really nice spot.
Just a lot of boats in here.
Yeah, who cares? Better than getting rocked around out there.
That was the best passage we've ever had, I reckon.
That was like is that the longest we've ever done?
But we sailed the whole way. That's the difference.
Yeah.
We've never sailed the whole way.
The whole way. We did distance through water. We did like 196 nautical miles, and we didn't use any fuel.
Yeah.
Except for then when that boat almost crashed into us, and we had to get away.
I don't know what. We had a boat mid-sea collision. They were meant to give way to us, and they didn't.
Well, they probably were thinking they might have done it. I don't know, but it was way too close.
Yeah, they might have been going behind us, but it was too close for comfort.
Yeah, close enough for us to take evasive action. Anyway,
bacon and eggs for breakfast. I'm going to go have a shower.
Join us next episode as we punch out our last passage to our second home, the Great Barrier Reef.
1.1 knots.
1.1 knots.
Should be there in 10 hours.
Yeah, I think we might. We really want to get to the reef by Sunday. What fish? It's the one.
It's the only fish that we've caught for 4 months.